Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sing for Your Supper.
Hello.
It's cake night. It's called Let Them Eat Cake.
One of my favorite nights ever.
Yes, but if you tuned into the preview, you know that it's not all about birthday cake.
Oh, well.
So tell us what you're going to make.
This is a shout out to one of our loyal fans,
All right.
Rachel Adcock, because she is a vegan, and I just wanted to just wash my hands. So I'm making a vegan chocolate cake.
Wonderful.
I actually just made this recently for our nephew who got married, and his fiance was a vegan. So I've made this a couple times.
Now, before you start the recipe, how does this tie into Broadway?
Cake.
Cake.
Stay with me.
Yeah.
Cake. Did you know there was a show that it's 7 o'clock time for the show?
It is.
I found out today there was a show written in, hold on, I need my cue card, 1933 called Let 'Em Eat Cake.
Wow.
By some talented people you've probably heard of, George and Ira Gershwin.
Oh,
and
yes.
it was a sequel to the musical that I know you've heard of Thee I Sing.
I do know that.
But why is that show, why is that famous?
I think it won some award. Did it win a Tony?
I don't know.
Oh.
But it won a bigger thing than a Tony.
What's bigger than a Tony?
An Anthony.
Anthony.
It was the first show to ever win a Pulitzer Prize for drama.
Great.
It skewed politics, and it's got some great songs in it. Anyway, that's how it ties into Broadway.
I bet there's some more cake references that we'll come up with later in our show.
Kevin probably has one.
Maybe have one or two.
To share
Maybe one or two. So I'm going to do something with a cake too, but it's not a cake like you eat this way.
Not a cake that you eat?
Not a cake that you eat like you eat
this way.
Yes, it's going to be a little bit different. So why don't you take us through your vegan chocolate cake first, and then we'll move on. Let me know what I can do to help.
I'm going to show you. I was going to tell you this funny. I'll start with my recipe, and then we'll just throw things in. So first thing, and I'm going to post this recipe, of course, on our website tomorrow. And if you have any favorite shows that have to do with cake, let us know in the comments section, because our great cameraman, Chris Nichols, is there reading comments and keeping us.
Yeah, and remember, if you're watching us on Thursday night, we went live on Tuesday night this week because one of us has to be out of town this week. So, so we're live tonight on Tuesday.
But I'm not getting on a plane.
So if you're sending comments on Thursday, we will not answer your comments. Just email us because we'll answer them that way. Or you can put the comments below and we'll try to answer them.
Yes.
All right, let's see what this.
Okay.
I can't imagine what a vegan cake would be like.
It's delicious.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, 1.5 cups of flour. 1 cup of sugar. Cake's always, not every cake. Most cakes have sugar.
Most cakes, even vegan cakes.
Even vegan cakes. 1/2 cup of cocoa.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then
it's a good way to make a chocolate.
Teaspoon, make sure I'm saying this right. Teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's both in here. Then, I think with cocoa, you always want to make sure all the lumps are out. So you're going to whisk this together.
You can also sift it, but you know what I find when I sift and I have salt in it? The salt does not go through. So I think whisking is a better way than sifting.
I agree.
And a lot of recipes will say to sift it. So your whisk is a good substitute for a sifter.
Your whisk is a sift, sort of.
Sort of.
Can be.
Whisk with an.
Y'all see how nice?
Lovely.
And now my cocoa's all mixed up in there.
Nice.
Okay? Now, this is my container for my soy milk. Not regular milk.
No.
Soy milk. So I'm going to have 1/2 cup.
Great.
4 ounces.
And 4 ounces, okay. How much is that in cups?
1/2 cup.
1/2 cup is 4 ounces. Very good.
1/2 cup, 4 ounces. Pour that in. And one thing I think is so good in a chocolate recipe, coffee, brewed coffee. 1/2 cup brewed coffee.
Is it decaf or?
It is not.
Espresso or?
Just regular caffeinated coffee.
Okay.
Brewed. Now I will briefly tell the story of when I was a Girl Scout, getting my Girl Scout cooking badge.
Okay.
And of course, what's a simple thing to make when you're 10 years old?
I don't know. Tell us.
Chocolate souffle.
Oh, of course.
Which the recipe called for a half a cup of coffee.
Okay.
I put in coffee grounds.
Oh.
I had never drank coffee. I just saw the can that said coffee, measured it out, and my sweet father, who tried my chocolate souffle, spit it out and said, "What the is this?" And I explained about the coffee, and he explained about the coffee.
But the important question is, did you get your merit badge?
I did get my badge.
Oh, good.
I was a good Girl Scout through high school.
I'm going to move your stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Keep going.
Yeah, the cool thing I think about this recipe, there's no eggs. So how do you get the cake to rise? How do you get it to be fluffy? I'm so glad you asked that. So I put in the baking soda. Now I'm putting in a teaspoon apple cider vinegar.
Oh.
And this, my friends, is chemistry. Because that's going to mix with baking soda, give it a lift.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And a teaspoon of vanilla.
Nice.
That's it. That's all that's in this cake. But you're going to be surprised at how moist.
And look, it's one bowl.
It's all in one bowl. You're
No
absolutely
mixer,
right.
nothing?
I'm going to mix it up.
Okay.
You know what I forgot to do? A little flustered. Okay. I forgot one other ingredient because I had it chilling in the freezer.
I'll get it for you.
Did you get it? And that is plant-based margarine. It's a third a cup. Grab a spoon. And I'm going to kind of put it in little chunks.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
I made a little boo-boo, and I'm just going to fess up to it. I should have done this first.
That's all right.
Yeah. I think it's going to be okay because it's going to get all mixed together. But normally what you do, and this is in the recipe, is you are going to take a pastry blade and cut it into your dry ingredients.
Oh, and then you put your wet ingredients.
And then you put your, but I'm going to just kind of start mixing it this way, and it's going to get blended up. So this is a plant-based olive oil margarine that I've used in the past. It works really well. And then I have my pastry blade, Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
It's not a musical. Maybe someone wants to make it into a musical. I'm going to cut this in.
It's doing everything together
It's
at one
really
time.
working okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of cut it in a bit.
Great.
Could you hand me a spatula, please?
Yes. I'll give you a spurtle.
What?
A spurtle. We'll talk about that on
A
another
spurtle?
Spurtle. I love my spurtle.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And now they're selling them at Hy-Vee.
Really?
Yes, you can get a spurtle at Hy-Vee. It does everything.
How about a Slurpee?
I don't know if you get a spurtle.
I'm going to keep the spurtle right here. I might need it.
Okay.
I'm going to keep cutting that in.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it smells so good with the coffee and the cocoa.
And it's a rich brown color. I think the coffee brings that rich brown color out.
Wish we had smell-o-vision. Okay, that's good. I am going to move over here. Now you're going to take then a mixer. So normally I would have cut that in. It looked like cornmeal. And then you would have your wet ingredients and mix it all up. But I think we're okay. So I'm going to step over here.
Okay.
And mix it. That's to mix it for 2 minutes. So it's just going to be loud for a minute.
Okay, while you're mixing that, since you're doing chocolate cake, I want to talk about the show that I love that has cake in it.
Oh, okay.
And the show that I love that has cake in it is Matilda, the musical. I love Matilda. It's one of my favorite new musicals that's come out. And I know they did it at the park a couple of years ago. Did you see it there? At the park? Oh, it was great.
We saw the tour at Starlight.
Okay.
And it was...
It's just... So there's a scene at the end of Act
Squirtle.
Squirtle.
Yes.
There's a scene at the end of Act 2 where one of the kids, Bruce Boxtrotter, has eaten the headmistress's piece of cake. Well, it's a small sliver of a chocolate piece of cake. So the headmistress makes him come out and eat the entire cake. The entire cake. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
It's so great. So the kid, through this 3 or 4 minute musical number, has to eat the entire cake. So it's another aspersion on let them eat cake.
So the actor is actually eating the
Has
cake.
to eat the entire cake. And it's a pretty thick cake, too.
How do they do that?
I don't know how they do that.
I
I'm
just-
sure if we were directing it, we would figure it out.
If you're a props master out there, and you know how to do that, I would feel like yours, because I would just think you'd be sick
Yeah, I think so too.
night after night.
I'm sure they don't actually eat it.
And think about a day with a matinee and an evening show,
Right.
shoving an entire
Oh.
cake in there. And then what happens? Does something happen to the kid?
Eats the whole thing, and it's a take on the headmistress. They've gotten, they pulled one over her, and she throws him in detention sort of. That's looking good, Barb.
Yes, I think you're good. I might not be a full 2 minutes, but nothing kills a show like too
That's
much
right.
exposition or mixing.
That's right. There you go. Well, you do your next.
Okay,
step.
I'm gonna
Switch
keep
this up.
taking my Sportle. What?
Spurtle.
Spurtle!
Like Myrtle with an S-P.
Oh, Spurtle!
Yes.
Spurtle, join me at the cake pan. I have a 9-inch. Now, this recipe is gonna be on the website tomorrow. You can easily double it and have a 2-layer cake. I'm just doing the 1 layer tonight. Oven's preheated to 350. I have put parchment paper in the bottom, which I always love. It just makes getting your cakes out so easy.
And did you do anything on the sides of the pan?
I didn't, but do you have a little spray?
I do.
Spray before you spurtle.
Absolutely. Spray.
Spray. Clear. Here we go. You can even spray on top of the parchment.
Yeah,
It's
I always
totally
do.
fine.
I do.
But you're right. It's good to get those sides.
And you know what I also do? I spray underneath the parchment so the parchment sticks.
What?
Yeah, this parchment will stick to the.
All right, you lifted.
There you go. Perfect. And then see,
Spritz.
and see how
Oh.
it sticks right there.
Can you see
Show them
that?
Yeah.
Nice. Tips from Kevin. First, it's a spurtle, then it's how to spray properly. Okay, and it goes.
Oh, that's lovely.
I think I might actually need a spatula.
But
Oh, he's gonna give me something else. What else you got?
how about this?
Oh, perfection. All right, wipe off that spurtle.
It's a 2-person.
This is an important spurtle technique.
Show on spurtle techniques later.
Spurtle techniques. I think it's going to be an Olympic sport.
Well, there's no Olympics.
I meant next year.
We can come up with our own Olympics.
Oh, we should.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Oh, okay. Just to even it out. Now, because it doesn't have eggs, you could actually kind of do that. You're not getting rid of the air. And we are ready to go in the oven.
What do we
350. It's going to cook for about 24 minutes. I like to set my timer for about 12 to 13 minutes. Check it, give it a little turn so it cooks evenly,
Super.
and then go from there. And I'm going to wipe off the counter, and I'm passing it over to Kevin, who on cake night has chose not to make a cake, you little rebel.
But I'm using a cake in my recipe.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to make a trifle. A trifle. Do you know what a trifle is, Barb?
Just a small little minor thing.
Yes, it could be that. But in the dessert world, what is trifle?
I kind of know this.
Okay.
It's layers of things, right?
Right. And it was originally happened in England in the 1700s. And English trifles have a little bit of liqueur in them. We're
Well,
not,
here's to the English.
but we are not using liqueur in our tonight. We are making a turtle cheesecake
Turtle.
trifle. Turtle.
Cheesecake.
Yeah. So we're going to have to make the cheesecake base for it first. We're going to come over to the mixer. I already have 3 blocks of cream cheese in here, 8 ounces each. I'm going to mix that up.
So this is the low-fat trifle. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Of
What I
course.
thought.
We only do the low-fat trifle. Now, when the British came to the States, they did a lot of trifle cooking in the South. And they would serve them on Sunday. And remember, it has a little liqueur in them. And the pastors would come, the preachers would come and eat with people. So they called it, instead of a trifle in the United States, they called it the Tipsy Parson. Tipsy Parson.
The British have the best names for their desserts.
They do.
A tipsy parson, there's like something Charlotte's, there's all kinds of crazy. Maybe we should find some crazy British desserts.
Yeah.
And show people what they are. Because if you said tonight we're making a tipsy parson,
no one would know.
I wouldn't know what we were doing.
All right, so we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of sugar in here.
You have some comments, Chris?
To sweeten our cream cheese.
People are here. We're glad you're here.
People are waiting for Thursday to ask questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to put in a tablespoon and a half of
Vanilla.
vanilla. I'm going to slow it down a little bit so I don't splash it all over myself.
Slowly. Slowly. Oh, it makes it such a
I have 2 containers of Cool Whip in the refrigerator.
Be right
You pull
back.
those out. All right, that's mixed pretty well. Can you open those up for me?
I can.
And I'm coming over
Do you
to
need
where
a spurtle?
I don't need a spurtle right now.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to move my trifle bowl for just a second.
Some room to work.
So we're going to put not 1, but 1.5. We're going to fold this
Because it's the
whipping
low
cream.
fat
It's the low fat
of
version.
the turtle cheesecake.
Yeah, if we were
chocolate.
using the full lead version, we'd use 3, but we're going to cut it down. Okay, and we're just going to fold this in. Now, Barb, let's talk about folding.
Let's talk about folding.
Okay, and the reason we fold, well, let's talk about what folding is first. We're just going to basically turn it over. Can you see how I'm turning that over?
Yes.
Instead of stirring it vigorously.
Now, why don't you want to stir it vigorously?
Because
that would be faster.
It would be faster, but we don't want to deflate the Cool Whip.
Oh.
All right. And
Okay. Better put the other half in.
Get me a spoon out of there. Oh, actually, I can use the spurtle. The spurtle is clean.
The spurtle is ready for action. Good old Myrtle.
Myrtle the spurtle. And I'm going to put half of that in there. If you want to put that back in the
I'm
fridge.
just making sure we don't have technical difficulty. Texts are coming in.
Good. All right. So that's 8 ounces.
Finished with this?
Yes, that goes back in the refrigerator, please. So I'm going to just gently fold that in. Keep turning my bowl.
You really have to be patient when you fold.
You do.
And how many times on the Great British Baking Show people don't fold
They don't fold
and things
properly.
go flat?
Yeah. We don't want that to happen.
No.
Isn't that pretty?
It is pretty.
That is sweet too. You want to get a spoon and taste it?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I was thinking of another musical
Okay.
that.
Is that okay?
I don't know. I better get another spoon.
Let's talk about your musical real quick
Oh,
while
all
I'm
right, I
finishing
won't
my
do it.
folding.
There is a show. I don't know if they actually say a lot of meat cake, but it does take place during the French Revolution,
Oh, okay.
and it's a musical.
Okay.
And Frank Wildhorn,
Okay.
and it's actually a movie I have loved since I was a child, The Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh, that's great. Now, there is a musical where they do say, let them eat cake. Do you know what musical that is?
It's not Matilda.
It's not Matilda. It's a musical that I was recently involved with.
Is it Let 'Em Eat Cake, the musical that I just talked about?
No, it is not.
Okay. Well, it might be. I don't know many people ever actually saw the musical Let 'Em Eat Cake because it only ran for about 80 performances.
Oh, that's
A
true.
musical, what's it,
Recent-
Grand Hotel?
No. But it was in that season. No. It
Well, you
was
did every show that season, so you're going to have to narrow it down.
Victor Victoria. In this, Louis says, in that song that I was actually, she says, let them eat cake.
Let 'em eat cake.
There we go.
Well, it's a great saying.
It is a great
Although,
song.
it did cost someone their head.
It did. All right, I have to get my layers out here so I make sure I do everything right. Okay,
So yeah, explain the trifle process.
Okay, the trifle process is really, if you are not a cook, a trifle is the perfect way to go.
So impressive.
Because what you saw me cook is all you have to do for this.
Woo!
You can make your own pound cake, which I have not done. I went to Sam's and bought my own pound cake. So you really don't have to cook anything, but you can make your pound cake if you want. But if you want to make a beautiful dessert, you'll see how beautiful it is. We're just going to layer this all up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the cake. Put a handful of cake down the bottom. That's our first layer.
Ready to squirt.
Yep.
Don't confuse squirting with a squirtle. Two very different techniques.
Spurtle. All right.
Spurtle.
Then I have chocolate fudge sauce, and I have caramel sauce. And we're just going to take this.
Careful.
Yep.
It might squirtle on you.
We're just going to give it a little dash there. Again, low calorie. And we're going to leave that open because we're going to see that again in just a few minutes. And a little fudge.
You know what I wish we had right now?
We don't need anything else.
Slow-mo.
Isn't that beautiful already?
That
Look at that.
slow motion.
All right. And then you don't have to put this in if you have a nut allergy, but some chopped pecans
My
go on top.
favorite nut.
Chopped pecans. Oh, my
Besides
Barb, this is going to be great. All right. Now we're going to put our cheesecake filling in. Not all of it, just one layer.
Okay, I'm going to do a little clearing over here.
All right. Now, everybody should have a trifle bowl. If you don't have one,
they should.
Yes. Because I don't know if you've seen, you could do savory things with it as well, like a salad. Have you seen those pea salads where you can layer everything up?
7-layer salad?
Yes. All right. Mm-hmm. Then we do a little more of caramel sauce and a little more of the...
Oh. Then we need our slow-mo.
And then finally... a few more
pecans.
Of the pecans. All right, so now all we have to do is we do that 3 more times.
That's all you have to do.
All you have to do.
Now I'll tell you that.
Do you want to be in charge of the squirtle? Squirtle?
Squirtle myrtle.
Squirt the.
Does it matter what order? Did it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Is it ready for squirtle?
It's ready for squirtle. Perfect.
I will say I do a version of a trifle.
More nuts?
Angel food cake.
Oh, makes it a little lighter.
Well, I mean, we're joking about the low fat, but I do an angel food cake and like a vanilla pudding, and then I put in strawberries or blueberries as my layer. It probably is a little more low fat. I mean, it just goes for whatever you're going for, but there's lots of options with the trifle.
Yes.
To be decadent. Let them eat cake, Marie Antoinette, or to be a little lighter, or to be savory.
Exactly. And the other thing you need to know is that this is not one serving.
That's true.
All right. A little more caramel and fudge, please.
Oh, before the cake?
Yep. You missed this first time.
I did.
You were clearing.
I was looking up how to squirtle.
Perfect. A few more nuts. Let me go a little more generous on the nuts.
There's never really enough pecans as far as I'm
concerned. All
concerned.
right, now last time.
Ooh, you can see all the layers.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. My gosh.
I don't know what's going to be the better dessert to eat tonight. They're both going to be really
I'll tell you what's nice about the trifle is that if you put it on your table right before the meal starts, it's a nice centerpiece.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you closed?
Squirtle.
It's our last.
I'm gonna do something a little crazy.
Okay. Oh my gosh! Look at that. We need a little bit more of something over there.
I'm not quite ready for the Olympics, but I'm close.
All right, and then some pecans.
More pecans.
All right, and then guess what goes on next?
The cheesecake part.
Okay, now this is the last layer of cheesecake, and this is what's going to be on the top of our cake. So we want to make this a little nicer than we did the other 2 layers.
Prettier?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Presentation.
It's all about presentation. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
That's so delicious looking.
Look at that. It just looked up.
Well done. And I have to say, you're a pro because you weren't measuring all this out.
Nope.
It just kind of have to eyeball it.
You eyeball it, yep.
Make sure you have enough of everything.
All right, now, see, I'm just going to take that and just give it a nice little swirl on the top. Because that's what people are going to see.
In a good way.
In a good way. All right, good. All right, now we're going to take and put some more nuts on the top.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Would you, there's a...
Squirtle?
Nope, not yet. If you look in the refrigerator, I've got a pastry bag filled with whipped cream. Pull that out.
Of course you do.
It's on the third.
Whether you're making a trifle or not.
Yeah, it just happens to be there.
Full of whipped cream.
Okay, so on the top, I like to go one way with the caramel, and then I go. Thank you. And then I'm going to go the opposite direction with the chocolate. It's a little warm, so I think, oh, it's going to do it. Look at that.
That is beautiful.
Now,
beautiful.
If you want to, you could end with that. Yeah, can you see that? But who would want to do that?
That's not decadent enough. What else can we add?
How about some whipped cream?
Some whipped cream. I'm going to help clear this one.
Okay. Just going to do a little swirl all the way around. What have we cooked on this, Barb? Nothing.
Nothing, unless you want to be crazy and make your own pound cake.
Right, but who? I mean, why? Why would you? Almost around to the. Now, we saw some cocoa powder earlier. If you want to, you can put some cocoa powder into a sieve.
I'm going to talk about that in a moment.
Oh, you're going to do that? Okay. Or we could do a little bit but you don't really need to. And I don't put anything in the center because you want to be able to see that.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Isn't that lovely? And so easy. Let me tell you one other little trick. If you really want to make these special, you can take and do it in a individual glass like that. Because what we're going to do is we would dip down through you don't want to just skim off the top when you serve it.
I want every layer of swirl chocolate and caramel.
Dig all the way down and serve it that way. But if you want to do individual servings, you can do them in small glasses like this, and you just do the same layers. You probably only get a couple layers that way. But there it is.
That would be a lovely little dessert to pull out. It'd be very elegant.
Absolutely.
Both are elegant.
Yeah, absolutely. I must say. But this makes a nice, if you're doing a buffet, a nice thing on your buffet. You can put it next to some fruit if you want to, and no one will go for fruit.
No, fruit, please.
So there are a million different ways to do trifle. So look online if you want to find some different ways to do it. If you want to do it with more fruit and make it a little more healthy, that's the way you can do it. I'm going to move this out of the way.
I am going to see if my cake's done. Yes, it's not really done yet, but I have one that I made earlier.
Through the magic of
because I wanted to talk about a way to kind of spice this up too. As I said, you could double the recipe and have 2 layers. But one thing I did last time, and here's that parchment paper, peeling it off. Look at that.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Hey, when you're doing, just a tip, when you're doing 2-layer cakes, and you want to frost them and you want a flat top, you put your flat top on the top and put the rounded edges on the inside, and then fill in. And there's also more room for frosting.
There's more frosting on the edges. Well, what I'm going to do is cut this in half.
Okay.
Some people use floss. I'm not doing that.
I'm not a floss person.
I'm going to just do it with a nice serrated knife.
Okay.
Cut this. And this, just like your trifle, I'm just eyeballing it.
Get a piece of paper.
Then
You put this on.
set that on there.
Yep.
Great.
Mhm.
Now you can, if this is truly going to be a vegan cake, you just want to be careful on your filling. So I just have seedless raspberry jam. I love chocolate and raspberry.
That'd be
Goes
great.
so well together. And I'm just going to spoon some of that out.
Nice. Now, we talked about putting coffee in before. What do you think coffee does to the cake? How do
I
you eat
think it makes it moist. I think it adds a depth of flavor to the chocolate.
And do we get a nice strong coffee taste from the?
No,
No.
you really don't.
Okay.
I'm not a big coffee drinker.
I'm not
I'm
either.
not a coffee drinker, not even
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
And I've had this cake multiple times, and I don't really notice a coffee flavor. I notice the richness and density of the chocolate. So there
Nice.
you have your nice layer
Lovely.
of raspberry.
That's great. That's beautiful.
And then we're going to take our top. Now, when I did this for our wedding cake for our nephew, you can use Cocoa Whip, which is like Cool Whip, but it's made from coconut oil, so vegan. But what I'm going to do, I have these little stencils.
Oh, that's great.
I'm just going to lay that on top, and I have some powdered sugar. And as Kevin was saying, if you had a little cocoa or something to put on top of the trifle, you do the same thing. Just going to put a little of this, and we're going to sprinkle, sprinkle. It's not a squirtle, it's a sprinkle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You can get these probably at any Joanne, cooking store, place that has all those cooking supplies. I've had these forever. I have all different types. Just pull that off.
Oh, that's lovely. You ready to put it on the cake stand?
Yeah. Let's see. Just gotta that. Hit the front. There we go.
Oh, lovely.
There is our decorated, filled, vegan chocolate cake. And I think we need to try a little bit.
Bring our off here too. Put them next to each other.
Oh, two lovely
Isn't that beautiful?
desserts. And not too tough to make either. One bowl for the cake, no baking for the trifle.
I'm just going to taste the.
You want me to cut you a little piece of this?
You want?
I think we need to try it.
That cheesecake going fantastic.
Oh, I had some before. So yes.
It's not so sweet because of all the
There.
Oh, thank
Get
you.
in there. Use your spoon. I don't care. Let me know what you think. Is that good?
I love that.
The raspberry?
The raspberry doesn't overpower it. It's nice. It's really nice. It's great.
I'm going to try this again.
Okay. We've got instruments in both hands. Hey, thank you for joining us
But no
tonight.
squirtles.
No. Thank you for joining us tonight on Cake Night. I hope you enjoyed our recipes. If you are not a baker, cook, go with the trifle. So easy to make. Look at it. You'll impress all of your friends with that.
And if you're just jumping into baking, this is an easy recipe to
Very
get
easy.
started with. Give it a try.
Yep.
And just a reminder that this is Tuesday night. We're going to load this on Thursday. So if you put comments on, we will actually not be live Thursday. But we'll be back a week from Thursday.
That's right.
And we have no idea what we're doing.
No, but we'll be singing for our supper. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.